What is going on, Knicks Nation? Good morning and welcome back to Knicks Media. My name is Richie, and today I want to talk about some off-season targets for the New York Knicks. As you saw on the thumbnail, I threw 4 veterans out there. And listen, I've been very consistent here on my channel saying I don't want the Knicks to go after anybody. I want them to run it back. I want them to re-sign OG. I want them to re-sign Isaiah Hartenstein. I personally think and believe that this Knicks team is good enough to compete for a championship the way that it's currently constructed, and they should bring back the players that are pending free agents like OG and iHeart. But business is business. It's not guaranteed that the Knicks are able to bring them both back. So we have to talk about a lot of other possibilities because the Knicks also have a lot of ammunition to trade for a superstar. We've been talking about trading for a superstar for years. Will this be the summer when it happens? Or will the Knicks run it back, right? There's so many different options. There's so many different ways the Knicks can go about this offseason, and I want to make sure we can cover every single scenario here on my channel and kind of have an open dialogue with you guys in the chat, with you guys in the comment section. You guys let me know. We're going to go over each player that I think could be a potential target for the New York Knicks and why I think it could be a good move or a bad move, and break it all down here on Knicks Media. Appreciate all the love and the new subscribers here on the channel. My name is Richie. If you're new to the show, don't forget to subscribe. We got a lot of Knicks content, of course, coming your way all throughout the offseason, carrying over into the nit and gritty of when moves actually start happening. The NBA draft, the offseason, free agency, the draft, trades, all those great things happen. And so, folks, don't forget to hit the like button right now for the boy. Really would appreciate that. Let's get straight into business. Outlaws in the chat. Richie, is that article really true that Dolan wants a superstar here this year? Yeah, that's another reason why I wanted to talk about this, is that there's, of course, rumors circulating that Dolan is looking after a big superstar. Now, you can say that the owner in Dolan, he is finally getting a taste of what the Knicks look like winning. So he's probably going to be like, hey, Leon, go after the star. Now's the time to do that. Is it smart to go after the star now? Should we wait still? We have the assets. Is now the time to strike when you have a MVP candidate last year, Jalen Brunson, and we were this close to the Eastern Conference Finals? What will the Knicks do? Okay, so on the thumbnail, I put Donovan Mitchell on there, Devin Booker, Paul George, Mikal Bridges. I think those are the 4 most popular names I've seen amongst Knicks fans. Just because I put those 4 names on the thumbnail does not mean that I think that the Knicks should, get every single one of them. Okay, so that's why I put those specific players on the thumbnail, right? Because I think that the Knicks fans, I've noticed on Twitter, they've been talking about these specific players coming to the New York Knicks. So right now, I want to get your guys' thoughts. Which one of these 4 players, if any, would you want the New York Knicks to go after? Because I think it's a possibility where Mikal Bridges is the most likely trade target, right? Just because of Villanova. And listen, if this happens, there's going to be a big shakeup. Julius Randle may have to go. I mean, that's a lot of draft picks would have to go. Now, Devin Booker is interesting. Pairing him up with Jalen Brunson would be a dynamic backcourt. Would you be able to fit Dante DiVincenzo in that mix? Is Donovan Mitchell still going? Because now that the Cavaliers fired their coach, they could be hiring someone and trying to keep Donovan Mitchell, even though we've heard reports that the Cavaliers will not be keeping Donovan this season if they do not extend him. And then Paul George is a name that I've seen a lot of Knicks fans talk about. Me personally, I am not fond of Paul George coming to the Knicks. I just don't see that as a good fit. But hey, there's a lot of other names out there, and probably a name out there that the Knicks could land that I'm not even talking about. I want to get your guys' thoughts in the chat. There's also some names out there that the Knicks can bring in that are not big A-list stars, okay? Like an Alex Caruso, who would fit this team, right? There's a lot of other guys, maybe some bench pieces to help out this Knicks team. I've seen a lot of people even talk about Chris Paul, the veteran, coming off the bench, being a point guard to take some pressure off of Brunson. I don't know about that, but listen, I'm just telling you guys what I've heard from Knicks fans. I'm not, all these names, don't make it seem like I'm saying the Knicks got to get this player, that player, this player, that player. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, so I think that, let me just double down and remind you guys where I stand is run it back. We already talked about that on the channel. I want OG back. I want Hartenstein back. I want them to keep Julius Randle. I want the starting lineup to be Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Isaiah Hartenstein, with the bench of Josh Hart and Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson, and Bojan Bogdanovic. that's my ideal rotation next year. But at the end of the day, I think that's going to be very difficult for the Knicks to pull off. I do. I think that to give OG that contract extension, to extend Isaiah Hartenstein, are you extending Brunson? Are you giving Randall an extension? Are you able to afford all that? Or do the Knicks have to make a big decision and sacrifice a certain player or two? Mitchell Robinson is a guy that I've seen a lot of Knicks fans unfortunately feel like is expendable, because with the ascension of Isaiah Hartenstein and with the type of contract we have Mitchell Robinson with his injury-prone ability, that's a concern. I know a lot of people have some red flags around OG just because of the injury concern, which I totally understand, because when you're investing that type of money in a player like OG, which, by the way, if we did extend OG, he'd be the highest paid Knick player on the entire roster. He hasn't proved to stay healthy. But what he has proven is that when he's on the basketball court, the Knicks are a completely different animal. He is literally what are the Knicks? 27-9 when he's on the court. So there's no denying that OG Anunoby makes an impact on this Knicks basketball team when he's on the court, when healthy. So that's why I wanted to ask you guys, and I'm curious because I'm going to make a poll in the chat right now of you guys to let me know which players would you want the Knicks, which one would you prefer them to pursue? And if you're saying, nah, Richie, I don't want to go after any superstar. I don't want to go after Donovan. I don't even want to go after Bridges. I don't want Devin Booker. I want to stick with what we got. You let me know that in the chat as well. Because, listen, the Knicks are in a very interesting spot. They have back-to-back seasons getting bounced in the second round. We're seeing 2 seasons of Jalen Brunson's excellence. We're coming off an injury-riddled season. We finally have an identity. And now I think the Knicks have become a team that stars would actually want to come play for. We are an attractable destination, in my opinion. And I think that's another thing we have to talk about, okay? So I don't really think that all these veterans and all these stars is something that we should consider as fans, but I can guarantee this. Leon Rose is putting every single possibility on the floor, on the table. He's talking to World Wide West. He's even talking to Dolan. And now they're making a huge decision. Do we take all of our first-round picks, all of our draft picks, all of our assets, and a player or two on our roster to go after a superstar to pair up with Jalen Brunson and the rest of the core, or do we just run it back? Like, that's really what it comes down to. The Knicks were the 2nd seed in the East with what we had with injuries. Can you imagine what the Knicks would be with just fully healthy with that team? That's why I'm honing in. I'm honing in on what we have. So let me know where you guys stand in the chat. We need a wing. We have to get taller. We have to get taller. Yeah, I mean, we're a tall basketball team, I would say, when healthy, right? Josh Hart at the 4 does not make us tall, even though he out-rebounded everybody at 6'4". But a starting lineup of what I talked about earlier on, if we run it back with a Brunson, Dante, and you have OG at the 3 with Randall at the 4 and Hartenstein, that's pretty tall. So we shall see. Mikal Bridges, Donovan Mitchell, and number 3, Paul George. Jimmy says the final Nova Infinity Stone is greatest chemistry of all time for a team and a chip. Yeah, if there was one guy that I would definitely be the most open to trade for, it's Mikal Bridges. But you'd probably have to trade Julius Randle on that to match the finances and everything. Now, I've seen some ridiculous trade packages on Twitter, dude. Do I have to bring it up to you guys and show you? Because I've seen stuff. I'm like, who are these people making these ridiculous trade packages? Like, who are they? I've seen people throw Julius Randle out there just making it seem like this guy is just a shell of himself. I mean, come on, man. What are we doing? Why do we have these ridiculous trades? Okay, here's one. Let me pull some up. Here's a Bleacher Report trade proposal for the Knicks. I don't know about this. This is interesting. I actually just seeing this one for the first time. What are you guys' thoughts of this hypothetical trade on Bleacher Report? We're trading away Mitchell Robinson and getting Gary Payton, Moses Moody, and a first-round pick in 2026. Now, this trade is interesting because you're getting rid of Mitchell Robinson's contract, which means you're extending Isaiah Hartenstein. You free up some more money, and you're getting some, 2 rotational pieces and more assets. That's an interesting trade. Listen, I love Mitchell Robinson. I'm a big Mitchell Robinson fan, but we all know that the injury concern is real with Mitch, and the Knicks have a decision to make with Mitch. I'll be honest with you guys. I will be honest. It's sad to admit, but it is the sad truth and the reality of the where the Knicks stand right now heading into the offseason. So will they go on with trading Mitchell Robinson or not? I've seen other trades where the Knicks are like packaging Julius Randle for Lauri Markkanen. I'm like, what type of nonsense is this? I mean, I saw a trade package. I'm trying to look for it. I can't find it right now. Where the Knicks trade Julius Randle and a bunch of draft picks for Lauri Markkanen. Who are these morons? I wouldn't even do Randle for Markkanen straight up. Like, what are we doing? Jared NYK, 3 words, run it back. Absolutely. I agree 100%. I know people are sick and tired of Randle, but I still believe he can make a good run in the playoffs. People forget he's been hurt the last 2 times we made it there. Yes. Yes. Cannot agree more. If LeBron leaves LA, we should go for AD. I mean, we got to go for AD if Randle's gone, right? That's if we trade Julius Randle, then you go after Anthony Davis, but I don't know. Definitely not something I'm even considering. Resign Isaiah Hartenstein and get OG extended, run it back. Let's go Knicks. It does seem like the consensus amongst Knicks fans is run it back, which I absolutely love. I think the Knicks should run it back 110%. Because if they don't, I don't know, man. It seems like Knicks fans are all on the same train. Not all, right? There's some people that are like, nah, they should go after a star. They should shake it up. They should go after this player. I get it. We're not all on the same page here. But I personally think that the Knicks should definitely run it back. Okay? Run it freaking back. Now, I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts of what you feel like is going to happen in the NBA Finals. Well, do you have the Mavericks closing it out in 5? Let me know your thoughts right now in the chat because the Celtics sweep the Indiana Pacers. They're waiting. The Timberwolves figure out a way to get a W on the road, I believe. That was in Dallas, right? Game 4. And now they extend the series. And now Game 5 is tonight. The Minnesota Timberwolves are at home, and they're 4.5-point favorites on BetUS Sportsbook, the proud sportsbook sponsor of Knicks Media. If you guys want to sign up for BetUS, you guys can simply click the link at the bottom of the at the top of the description, and you'll receive a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,500 with a 10% gambler's insurance. They got a fast 24-hour payout and a reliable 24/7 customer service. Big time shout out to BetUS. They have been the go-to sports book for myself all throughout the Knicks season, the number 1 online sports book on the face of the planet. So the Timberwolves at -4.5 tonight. Do you guys see them continuing and pushing this series deeper? Do you guys think the Timberwolves are actually going to come back from a 3-0 deficit? Do you think they're going to push it to Game 6, push it to Game 7 even? Or do you have the Mavericks closing it down? Let me know in the chat how you feel about it. And another big-time shout-out to BetUS.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
Shout out to BetUS, where the game begins. I see somebody asked me about Cade. I don't think the Pistons would trade Cade. I think that's their guy. Sherwin's in the chat. Good morning. Are this team good enough to beat the Celtics, Milwaukee, Denver, OKC, 76ers if they are all healthy? Yeah, we proved we could beat the 76ers, number 1. Okay. We blew out the Denver Nuggets when we were fully healthy. Okay. I mean, listen. The one time we versed the Celtics with OG, we blew them out. I think we are. Fully healthy, I think we are. Do you? We must upgrade at the shooting guard. Love Dante and Hart. They are better served to be bench players. I don't know, man. I like Dante as a starter. I think you're underrating him personally. I mean, if you can get... I mean, who are you thinking about? Devin Booker, obviously, would be an upgrade. Donovan Mitchell, yes, would be an upgrade. Dante proved this year that he's a starter in this league. I don't know about you guys. I think Dante DiVincenzo is a starter. Now, if he's coming off the bench, that means we're deeper. Yeah, I get that. But you see what Dante did this year? He was the only one to step up in Game 7. He was lighting it up, bro. Dante is a dog. I like Dante as a starter in this rotation. Josh Hart, I feel more comfortable coming in off the bench, even though the man was playing like 48 minutes for this Knicks team in the playoffs. But yes, you can get an upgrade over Dante. I'm not sugarcoating that. But let's also remember the Knicks have Dante DiVincenzo on a freaking bargain of a contract. They're paying him, what, $11 million per year? If he was hitting the open market this year after that season, he would be demanding like 20-something mil. So the Knicks have Dante on cheap contract. Same with Josh Hart. They have an opportunity to extend Jalen Brunson for pennies. Well, I take that back. Not pennies, right? But it's going to be a lot of money. But he has a chance to avoid the Supermax. Okay? So, I don't know. I like Dante in the starting five. Am I the only one? Dante was second behind Steph Curry in three-point efficiency and says he is better off on the bench. What are you talking about? Yeah, I couldn't disagree with that more. I think, listen, are there better options that are like a Devin Booker? Yeah, of course. But I'm very confident in the chemistry and the dynamic of a Dante, personally. So that's how I'm looking at it. Now, could you replace him with somebody that fits? I don't know. I don't know. Sherwin doubles down, says Booker and Mitchell are not Tibbs types players. We need a player in the mold of Mikal Bridges to be our shooting guard. Listen, man, to get Mikal Bridges, it's going to be tough to bring him in. You'd have to trade Randall for that to happen, probably. Unless you don't re-sign OG and you get Mikal Bridges to replace OG. There's a lot of different ways to bring in Mikal Bridges. I know Bridges can play the two. I get that. This is a positionless league, and you look at the Timberwolves, they got a lot of size. They're an example that you can just run it out with size. But at the same time, man, I mean, you talk about a lineup with Brunson, Bridges, OG, Randall, Hartenstein. Is that even possible financially? Number one. Number two, will we get outpaced? We don't really have a lot of speed. We have obviously size. You got Bridges, OG, and Randall, but we probably would have to get rid of one of Randall or OG in order to get Bridges in the first place. I do not see a world of being able to have Bridges and OG and Randall. It's probably Bridges and one of OG and Randall. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I'm looking at it. Brunson, Dante, Bridges, OG, iHeart. Yeah, in this scenario, Randall's gone, of course. And he'll probably get traded for Bridges in this hypothetical. There's a lot of hypotheticals, man. That's the thing. It's the offseason. We all have to speculate. We all have to have our own little thoughts and processes. Oh, what are the Knicks gonna do, right? Guys, simply don't forget to hit the like button for your boy. I would greatly appreciate that. If you're enjoying the show here, we have 11 likes. We can do way better than that, folks. Come on now. Hit the like button for your boy here at Knicks Media. We're live talking about some Knicks offseason targets. If there's any other names that I did not mention, please let me know in the comments. If there's a name out there that you think the Knicks could pursue that we're not talking about, would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Don't forget to hit the like button, please, and subscribe to the channel. We just hit 12.5K subs. Really do appreciate that big time, guys. Next goal is 13,000 subs. Let's go, baby. Knicks Media is growing. The Knicks family is growing here on the channel. Cannot thank you guys enough. Rick Z with the question about DeJounte Murray. Anyway, the Knicks can get him. Well, the Hawks have some interesting things going on. Trae Young could be on the move, which means Murray can be on the move. The Knicks have been linked to DeJounte Murray for feels like 3 off seasons in a row. So, yes, that is definitely a name that the Knicks could be getting. We have to keep our minds open to any freaking possibility. Any possibility out there, all right? So we shall see. Bridges like OG can guard 1 through 5. Yes, absolutely. Randall is one of my 2 untouchables. We are not trading Randall unless Giannis Antetokounmpo is coming to the Knicks. Now, this I agree with. I do not want to trade Julius. I want Julius Randle on this Knicks team. I want Julius Randle on this Knicks team. And I will stand on that hill and die on that hill. And I know that's a polarizing take. Randall has divided this Knicks fan base. Half the people love Randall, want him here. Half the people are like, get that guy off my team. And guess what? Every Knicks fan is entitled to their own opinion. That's the beautiful thing of us as Knicks fans. We all come together. We shall see, though. Well, folks, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode here on Knicks Media, breaking down the Knicks' top offseason targets. If you want to let me know in the comments down below your offseason targets for the Knicks, let me know. Or would you just rather them run it back? Because guess what? That's what I want them to do. Oscar, what's good, bro? Welcome to the show, my friend. Welcome to the show. Caden's in the chat as well. What's up, brother? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing well in the chat. We're going to wrap up the show here. Stay tuned for another show over the weekend, breaking down more of the latest news and the updates regarding the Knicks offseason. And then we got the NBA draft to cover, and then we got some signings, hopefully, and some trades, re-signings, all good things happening here on Knicks Media. Folks, don't forget to hit the like button on your way out of the show. My name is Richie here, live on Knicks Media. Salute to the chat. Salute to Knicks Nation. I'll catch you in the next live show. Love you guys. Let's go Knicks. Peace.